First, let me introduce myself. I'm Hiziani, the Director General of Healing Heaven Confinement Center. So, what is special about our place? What is amazing about our place is we have a 24-hour security. We have a clean and spacious room for the mummies and babies. We also have a swimming pool for the babies. We have sauna and spa for the mummies. And also, obviously, we have a recreational area. So, it looks like mummy in confinement going for a holiday. So, we also, in our confinement center, we also practice traditional and complementary medicines combined with our modern medical knowledge. So to give the best to babies and also to the mummies. So welcome, and we are so honored to have all of you here, mummy and daddies, future mummy and daddies. So how do you find our place? Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I see some familiar faces here. I think I know you, Miss Azra.
Hi.
Yeah, from the MOH, right? Yeah, thank you for being here. When is your delivery date? Soon, yes. You can book us. Okay. And hi, Mr. Nava, the famous Mr. Nava from Tech Show. Thank you for being here. Do you like our place?
Yes, very nice.
Yes, you can book with us later. Okay, alright. So, without further ado, I would like to bring all you back to the ancient time. And I want you all to be ready. And sit back and relax.
ADR, hope you have a good flight and enjoy that new vehicle we're giving you.
ADR, we thank you very much, and we sure we will.
In a small village in ancient time, a girl named Melati just gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. She went to the traditional healer to give remedies to recover her strength.
Oh my God, can you give me something to recover my strength? I just gave birth to this baby. I will give you this 100 cc vitamina. 1 cup morning, 1 cup. Thank you.
Now, that's what happened in the ancient time. Do you guys agree? Maybe we don't have, at that point of time also, we are not in the world yet. So, now we come back to the current time. Hope you guys enjoy the montage. Now, I would like to call Miss Ifat. She's a TCM, a certified TCM practitioner. She's been practicing for 10 years in TCM. And she will explain to us more regarding traditional and complementary medicine as a general. Please welcome Ms. Ifat.
Thank you, Izzy. Assalamualaikum and very good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Ifat from this confinement center. Today, I want to introduce about the traditional and complementary medicine. This traditional complementary medicine is an important and often underestimated part of the health services. In some countries, the traditional medicine, which is also known as the not conventional medicine, may be termed as the complementary medicine. Traditional medicine has a long history of use in health maintenance and in disease prevention and treatment. Now let's see what is traditional medicine and what is complementary medicine. According to WHO, traditional medicine is the sum total of the knowledge, skill and practices based on the theories, beliefs and experiences indigenous to different cultures, whether explicable or not, used in the maintenance of health as well as in the prevention, diagnosis, improvement or treatment of physical and mental illness. As well as the complementary medicine, which is also known as the alternative medicine, is a broad set of healthcare practices that are not part of that country's own tradition or conventional medicine and are not fully integrated into the dominant healthcare system. They are used interchangeably with traditional medicine in some countries. And this traditional complementary medicine merges the term traditional medicine and the complementary medicine. According to National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, the traditional complementary medicine is divided into 5 categories. The whole or alternative medical system, mind-body intervention, biologically based therapies, manipulative and body-based practices, energy medicine. In whole or alternative medical system, it is divided into 4 categories. The Ayurvedic medicine, the traditional Chinese medicine, homeopathy and naturopathy. The Ayurvedic medicine, they use the herbs or powder masses and liquid. And in the traditional Chinese medicine, they use the traditional Chinese herbal medicine and acupuncture. Homeopathy, they use the preparations made by the substances which is diluted in water and alcohol. And naturopathy, it goes with the name based on the healing power of the nature. Mind-body intervention. This is also divided into 4 categories: the meditation, yoga, imagery, creative outlet, or the art therapy. The meditation, they achieve, here the mind is free from all, there is no emotion, no feelings and intellect. And yoga, their mind, body and the spirit, they becomes one. And imagery, they create a positive image in their mind and it helps with the stress, relaxation, sleep, health and more. Creative outlet therapy, this is actually one kind of psychotherapy. Biologically based therapies, this is divided into 3 categories: the herbalism, special diet therapy, and the orthomolecular medicine. Herbalism, they use the plant and plant extracts. Special diet therapy, they use the nutrition. And orthomolecular medicine is the combination of the vitamins, minerals, and the amino acids. Manipulative and body-based practices. This is also divided into 3 categories: chiropractic, osteopathy, and therapeutic methods. In chiropractic, they manipulate the joints. Osteopathy also, the manipulate the joints and bones. And therapeutic methods, the therapist press, rub, and manipulate the muscles and other soft tissues of the body. The energy medicine. This is here the magnet therapy, light therapy, and the powerful therapy. 3 categories. The magnet therapy, they use the magnetic field of electromagnetic device or the permanent static magnets of the body. And the light therapy, they use the light in the form of daylight or in the specific wavelengths of light. Now let's see what is the global progress of traditional and complementary medicine. Since the launch of the traditional and complementary medicine, there has been significant and steady progress in implementing, regulating and managing the traditional and complementary medicine in most of the countries. Traditional and complementary medicine practices varies from country to country depending on the culture, understanding, accessibility of the conventional medicine. Here you see in the developed countries the use of the complementary and alternative medicine. France is the highest among all the developed countries, which is 75%. And in developing countries, Ethiopia is the highest than the other developing countries, which is 90%. India, Rwanda, and Benin are as well as the same 70%. And here, based on some disease condition, the complementary alternative medicine use. Among all these conditions, the back pain is the highest among the men and women in using the traditional complementary medicine. And this table shows the commonly used traditional complementary medicine therapies and therapeutic techniques. In Chinese medicine, there is the herbal medicines, acupuncture, spiritual therapies, and Ayurveda, they use the herbal medicines, manual therapies, and the spiritual therapies. This is the commonly used. And here, this chart shows the among 129 countries. This is the traditional complementary education at the university level. Among 129 countries, the 30% countries they provide education at about traditional complementary medicine at the university level. 56% they do not provide education at the university level, and 14% they didn't answer. And there has also been progress in setting up national research institutes in the field of traditional and complementary medicine across the world. The number of member states for the traditional and complementary medicine has been increased significantly. Here you see they have the increase. It is increased in trend from 1999 to 2012. From 19 to 73, it has been increased significantly. So that's all from my presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ifan. Thank you so much. We are so honored that Ms. Ifan is collaborating with our confinement center, with us in our confinement center. Now, I would like to invite our owner of confinement center, Healing Heaven Confinement Center, Datin Dr. Siti Zakia. So, Datin she has a very deep interest in women's physical and mental well-being. So, she has involved with many NGOs related to women. She also has strong opinions and belief in women confinement period is very important to women. So hence the establishment of this confinement center. So she will be talking about traditional and complementary medicines, specifically in women in confinement or postnatal period. So please welcome Dr. Siti. Thank you very much, my dearest Iziani. So good morning and Assalamualaikum to all. First of all, again, I would like to say thank you very much to all of you for joining us today. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Before we go into further discussion about our topic today, let me give you guys a brief introduction about traditional and complementary medicines that being used during confinement period. Okay. According to WHO, postnatal periods is actually immediately begins right after giving birth to a baby, and it extends until 6 weeks after that, where by that time we hope that the woman's body already restored into her pre-pregnancy state. By saying that, childbirth, you see, to me personally, childbirth is a really special phase in woman's life. Although I know some of us might say that it's a very painful experience, right? Because during this time, there is a major physical and also emotional changes. And not to forget that the subsequent postnatal period is actually an adjustment period to both the mother and also the father. As during this time, a new role comes, right? Because they are having a new baby. So, this postnatal period often deemed as a social celebrations, where we can see that it's actually highly influenced by the cultural belief and practice of the mother and the family itself. So, this cultural belief and practice actually being transmitted from generation to generations. Yeah, but why is it so important for us to taking care of the woman's health during this postnatal period? Ladies and gentlemen. although this childbirth is often associated with positive emotion, joy, we need to remember that actually this postnatal is an adjustment period, where this period may also be the period where physical and emotional turmoil to the mother, to the woman itself, where it can be a state of great disturbances, confusion, and also uncertainty. Because they have a new baby, they don't know. For the first time mother, some of us even don't know what to do, what to act, right? So, during this period, actually woman needs an extra care. Do you agree, woman on the floor?
Yes!
Yeah, they need an extra care. And also it include the partners, the husband, and also the family support. Okay. This is important for them to regain their strength and maintain their health as they adjust to their new life with their new baby. To further strengthen my point here, we need to remember, please everyone, I think you need to agree with me for this one. Women, according to the United Nations Secretary General, women are key to the sustainable development and quality of life in the family.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you. So investing more in women's health is not only the right thing to do. Actually, we build a safe, a peaceful, and also a productive societies. And according to Grace Kelly, who is this Grace Kelly actually? Anyone know who is Grace Kelly? No? Okay, never mind, let me tell you. Grace Kelly is actually a great American film artist, actress, which became a princess of Monaco, is it? Yeah, princess of Monaco in 1956 when she married the prince, obviously. According to her, a woman's natural role is to be a pillar of the family. Okay? And according to United Nations also, when women become a mother, they are actually the first teacher of the child, where she transmits the social heritage to the child, and from the mother itself, the child learns the law of the race, manner of man, moral codes and ideals. So, ladies and gentlemen, we as a woman, your wife as a woman, will eventually become a mother, and by become a mother, they are actually a multitasker. Decorator, teacher, not to forget housekeeper, and even the cleaner and also the organizer of the family. So, again, mothers play a unique role in passing down family culture. And again, I would like to emphasize the US Department of State Bureau of International Information Program in 2012, during their Global Women's Issues discussions, they mentioned that healthy women are the assets to their families and society. Again, I think you all need to agree with me, especially the women on the floor, right? So, looking at these slides, it reminds me actually, during my Master of Public Health, where I have one great teacher, which is Dr. Maslilo Ismail. I would like to acknowledge her because I used this slide from her lecture notes. Here, I would like to inform that in terms of ensuring women's health, there is a lot of factors that we need to look into. And one of it is their traditional practice. This is the things that we need to look into and don't forget about it. So, before we go any further, by this time, I think everyone should have a clear pictures of women's roles in the family.
Yes.
And I hope, not only Mr. Nava, but the rest of the gentlemen in this hall today, you need to practice saying thank you and I love you to your wife every day. And but perhaps for you, Mr. Nava, in terms of doing it daily basis, maybe you can consider hourly basis. No, I'm just joking. Hope you don't mind, yeah, because your show is very interesting. I do watch your show. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed to the next topics, yeah. Yes, that's fine. Get to your wife. Okay, let's go into the traditional and complementary medicines that being practiced during postnatal period. According to several studies, actually TCMs, belief and practice are common in many countries. So we focus on Asian traditional practice. Their postpartum care traditional practice is actually aimed to restore the balance in the body elements described as soil, which they consider as dry, fire as hot, air as cold and water is wet. So, as you all know, by giving birth, we lost a lot of blood. This blood is considered as hot element. When you lose a lot of blood, your body become cold. Yeah, very good everyone. So, their traditional practice aim to restore the normal function of sexual and also reproductive organ, increasing well-being and energy of the mother, promoting wound healing, weight loss, and also for aesthetic reasons. Why do you think they put aesthetic here? Important why? I think maybe Dr. Esther can answer the questions. During your confinement, do you practice any traditional things?
Yes.
Yeah. What is your aim besides of getting healthy and?
Actually, I try trying to slim down as
Yeah.
soon as possible so that I can take to my clothing.
Yeah, thank you Dr. Esther for sharing. Yeah, that's true. Most of us, the women, we want to restore our body shapes, actually, right? Back into our pre-pregnancy state. So these several practices include massage, hot compression, traditional girdle or corset, herbal bath, and also they acknowledge the help of a village midwife or female family members, the older female family members as their guidance in this practice. So let's see to more recent study in Malaysia. This study has been done among 285 women, and 76.2% from them are practicing traditional and complementary medicine during their pregnancy, their pre-conception period, and also postpartum period. Even though they are aware there is a lacking in efficacy and safety of these traditional medicines. So, this increasing demands actually shows that there is a need for further study in order for us to gain sufficient clinical evidence that could be used to structure better guidelines for TCM practice and services in Malaysia. So, not to say that this TCM is absolute no or absolute yes. Some of them are proven to be beneficial, which we will discuss later in our forum. So I hope that you guys will wait until the end of the ceremony. Yeah. So this we'll discuss later. So in terms of traditional complementary medicines, we opt for that practice being remembered, and some of it may be continued to be practiced as it may show some effectiveness and beneficials. So without further ado, I will give back the sessions to the Hiziani to continue our ceremony today. Thank you, Daphne, such an inspiring talk today. Do you all agree with her? I do agree with her. I also practice confinement. I also practice some traditional and complementary practices during my confinement period. It was not only for my health, but also, yeah, to actually slimming down also to loosen all the fat. So as we all know, Malaysia is a very unique community. We have a very unique community. We have different races, practicing different religion and practicing different beliefs. Yet we live in harmony. Yeah. Do you guys agree? Yes. Yeah. See, I have friends Karthik, I have friends Esther. So yeah, we can be friends with everybody, and such unity in the diversity is actually reflected in our celebrations, our festival, and even our food. Oh, if it's not too late, I want to wish happy Diwali to everyone who was celebrating Diwali. So, how about confinement practices? Do we have similarity in practicing confinement practice, postnatal practices, or do we have differences? Or you are not sure how other people practicing? So, without further ado, we will present to you short drama, so we can actually introduce to you what are the practices among different races in Malaysia. Okay, please enjoy. What's that?
It's the hair. Right.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yes. I need to keep you warm.
Mom, I'm warm. God. Huh? What is happening? Oh my god.
I want to tell you there's a lot of do and don'ts in the postpartum period. You cannot take bath for 1 month.
1 month?
Yes. No take
Please.
brush your teeth for 1 month.
Brush for 1 month? You must be kidding. No.
Later your teeth will drop.
Yes. Brushing? Oh
Yes,
god.
this is the belief from passing from generation to generation, and you can't go out at all for 1 month. The things that you can do is just lie down.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to close the window.
Window also.
No aircon.
You want me to die here or what?
You won't die, don't worry. Mama passed through that. Okay?
Yeah.
And then later there's a doctor will come for doing motion on you. Okay?
What is motion option?
Later Mama tell you someone is coming. Hi.
Hi, Sinwan. Oh my god. Hey,
I'm Shanti.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I heard your international daughter-in-law just gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Oh my god.
Thank you so much.
How is she now? She's getting better.
Hi, Auntie. My granddaughter. Hi, everyone. This is Shanti Auntie. This is Hana Auntie. Happy to meet you.
Sinwan, how come your daughter-in-law not wearing sock? Oh, look at her sock.
Oh my god, I tell you, I'm 6 morning keep wearing her. Oh my god, so much things to do. Faster, later the faster.
Where will go in me? Oh my god. I need it. You have to listen to us.
Yeah, listen to the
Yes,
elders.
we have aunties more experience than you.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Alright.
Hey, hand inside.
Oh my god. We just want to make sure you get better completely. Yeah. Oh my god, look at the baby. Such a short baby. Oh my god, so
baby.
congratulations, your baby is so pretty.
Thank you. So proud.
How are you? You're so proud of her, I understand. So how are you? You feeling better?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Warm already, so warm actually.
Yeah, you need to keep your body warm.
It's not enough, right?
Yeah.
Yes, not
In
enough.
fact, in fact, I bring this for you. You know what's this? Oh, this is tungku. In Malay traditional medicines, we actually use this. We actually heat this. It's supposed to be hot, and then we put on your tummy.
It's a stone.
Yeah. Yeah. Relax.
Mama tiny also.
Yeah,
Will be safe.
yeah. Okay, we put on your tummy so it will contract your womb faster. You know, and we can also put on your breast to make your milk flow faster. Okay, this is very good. You should try it before.
Surely.
Yeah.
For Indian, we use massage people called abyangi.
Yeah, it's very good.
Very good. Can I
Yes.
try?
Yeah. You try everything.
Yeah.
So I brought this oil.
This will help your blood flow better. You know.
Put only a little.
Yes. You can massage. You can ask your mommy to massage your boob.
Oh my god.
If you like. Yeah.
Look how I'm feeling now.
It's good actually. Yeah, nice. I feel soft.
Oh my god, the baby is wet.
John.
Yes, Mom, coming.
John, go and change the nappy. I
Hi,
already
Auntie.
Hi.
Auntie Hannah. Hi,
Good
how
boy.
are you?
Can't take the baby. Mama told you, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Before, the one after delivery, have to take care of her. She doesn't rest. Just like how your father do it to me.
Okay,
You have
Mom.
to love your wife, okay?
Okay, I love you.
Yes. And hey, Mom, you know what? I bring this for you.
Okay, something
Yes,
else.
something for you.
You really have this. Look at this. This is a bengkok. So this is what you use. You wrap around your tummy.
I don't wrap myself in this.
Yes.
Yes.
Your mom will help you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Your mom
Your
will
mom
help you.
really.
Yeah.
Yes, of course we know this.
You have to wrap around your tummy. And then just tight enough, but not too tight and you cannot breathe out. Okay?
Did you do that also?
Yes. You know, I have six children and look at me, I'm the living proof. Okay?
I will try this.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I will. Alright. The thing is, you need to get better. We want you to get better faster because you need to, take care of the babies, and also, so you can enjoy your confinement time, not just feel very mellow and very sad about it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I
We
know.
are going to do Tai Chi. Oh my
Yes.
god, I have shown you all.
It's okay, next time.
Yeah, never mind. She's more
Okay.
important. I will take care of her first.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, please try all those, yeah?
Sure.
Bye.
Only for me, is it?
Yes, that is for
Okay,
you.
sure. Try all this. Alright,
Okay.
sure.
Bye.
Okay, bye. See you.
See you.
Oh yeah, continue. Later the doctor will come for the moxibustion. What is moxibustion? Oh, moxibustion actually is something like acupuncture, but different. They use a herb to heat up and put on your acupuncture point to warm your body.
Warm, Ma? How much warm do you want me to
It's different, girl. You have to listen to me.
Okay.
Yes, doctor is coming. Hi, doctor. Hi. Hello, Hima.
Hi, doctor.
Okay, how are you?
Better and warm enough.
Okay, I will do masturbation for you. Yeah, you see. Do you know what is masturbation?
No.
Actually,
Mama was trying to tell me something about it.
yeah, then you came in.
So you can tell me what it
I
is.
just can remove. Yeah, you need to remove. Actually, masturbation is the Asian technique medicine in China for healing and treating illness. Yeah. So this one, this is the most important. You know it? It's the scientific. It's looking like glass, right?
Oh.
So I need to burn it, and by smoking it, you over your dietary point. Yeah. So you will warm the whole body. Okay.
Oh my god, fire is that for me?
No. They will burn you.
Okay.
Mama tried before. Good thing. Mama still here, right?
Yes, Ma.
How long have you been here? About 20 minutes. Oh, last time I put 1 hour.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does it help, Ma?
This is
This
nice.
is
You
the
try it. You try it. I will put it over your battery point. Actually, here is your battery point. It's the most important point in the human body. Okay. Oh, it's not hard. Oh, is it you? So hard?
It's not hot, okay?
Okay. Good. So she can lie down? Yeah. Lie down on the other side.
Okay.
Okay. And one more important thing when you do the masturbation, make sure that the baby is not in this room. No worry, my son will take care of the baby. Yeah, when you do the masturbation, keep the window closed and no air conditioner. And after 1 hour, you can
condition
take
is
bath.
already
No, after 1 hour, bath, no aircon. Oh no. Okay.
Thank you, doctor.
See you.
Thanks a lot.
This is for me, right? Yeah. You can take it over. After 30 minutes. All right. Thank you very much. Make sure that keep the window closed. Yeah.
All right.
See you. Hi, Emma. How is it? Okay,
Ma, yeah, it's better.
better, right? Mama told you.
Yeah, it's nice actually. It feels good. Hey Ma, this is your love more than the medicine. Thank you so much.
You know what? In Asian, last time, my mother-in-law will help me during my postpartum period. This is what I want to do to you. So remember, you have to
Pass it
talk
on to my baby.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. So now you rest first. Mama will go to do some grocery.
Okay, Ma.
Okay, rest.
Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the drama. Okay, despite all the differences that intra-ethnic practices in postpartum practice, but there are also some similarities. Do you agree? So every mothers in Malaysia will agree that we need to keep our body warm, and also also we need to keep our body. We need to make our body back to our original figure. So to loosen up a bit, Dr. Tom will do facilitate meditations for everybody, for mummies and daddies in this room. Okay, please welcome Dr. Tom.
Hi everyone. Okay, please close your eyes first. Relax your toes. Relax your foot. Skin tight until the top. Relax your spine. Shoulder. Relax your fingers, hands, forearm, and your arm. Relax your head, eyes, nose, ears, lips, and all your facial muscles. Listen to the sound surrounding you. And feel relaxed. Feel your body temperature. Is it hot or cold? Lastly, is the abdominal breathing. Inhale. Extend your abdomen. Exhale. And relax your whole body. Repeat 3 times. Inhale. Extend abdomen. Exhale. And relax your whole body. Inhale. Extend abdomen. Exhale. And relax your whole body. Then continue with your normal breathing. Allow your mind feeling calm. Become more centered, happy, cheerful, and peaceful. Now, slowly open your eyes. Okay, how's everyone? Is it okay? Okay. Okay, so you'll enjoy it.
Thank you, Dr. Tom. So I hope everyone is calm and relaxed now. So we will continue our the next session. So we will having a talk with our experts and panels on traditional and complementary medicines practices in postnatal period among Malaysian women. So Hima and Nora, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome to our panel discussion. I'm your host Hima.
And I am Nora. So hi everyone, how are you doing?
Thank you.
So what are we going to talk about today, Hima?
Yes, Nora. We are going to talk about something which is the biggest blessings of life, that is having a baby. But before we talk about the joy of having baby, why not talk about the moms who give birth to the babies, right?
Yeah.
So we will talk about what they should do and what they should not do.
Yes, I agree with you, Hima, but actually there are lots of do's and don'ts, especially in our Asian tradition. So why don't we hear from our expert panels today? So who do we have today?
Yes, I would like to welcome our panel for today. We have Prof. Dr. Tam Sin Wan, Head of Obstetrics and Gynecology Department from Tong Shin Hospital.
And we also have Dr. Zakia, the owner of the Healing Heaven Confinement Center. Once again, welcome, Doctor. Healing Confinement Center actually practice TCM as one of their postnatal care, isn't it?
Yeah, talking about TCM in confinement, Nora, don't you think it's very difficult for ladies to follow all the do's and don'ts like we just saw in the drama?
It was a very interesting drama. Actually, I think it is difficult to follow all these things. Actually, I have two sisters and my mom, and was a very strict confinement regime during after they gave birth.
Oh.
Did you come across the news? I think few years back in Shanghai about a mother who died during confinement.
Oh, I remember. I think I read about that news. I think that lady, she died of extreme temperature following Zhongyetsi. Sorry if I pronounced it wrongly. But Prof. Tam, can you please throw some light on that news about that Shanghai lady who died?
Okay, sure. Thank you for the question. By the way, the word is called 坐月子.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
No
Very
problem.
difficult to pronounce.
It's confinement in Chinese.
Oh,
Okay. Actually, I came across the news. Actually, it's a very sad news. The mother actually is very young. Is in her early 20s. So, but however, we can't actually put the blame on this traditional Chinese medicine or not the custom, because actually this concept of this not to expose to the wind after the birth, this confinement requirement actually come from the one in the era of the poor living condition and also the low medical standards. Sorry for the technical problem. So it's born in this era, and actually in olden days, the objective of this requirement actually is to protect the woman, because after delivery they are actually weak. So in the past, the living condition actually is poor. So when the mother giving birth during the winter time, in order for them, actually they have to live in an environment which is have better wind and also warm. So this requirement actually to ensure that this maternal living environment temperature is adequate to avoid them from getting the cold. However, this practice, they are practiced everywhere in every season, every conditions. So furthermore, correct. Yes. Furthermore, in current era, today living conditions, our building structures, and as well as the technology advancement. All these certain, the confinement requirement or practices is no longer suitable for the current modern time for these Chinese women. So actually what happened to this, what I want to tell is, the reason behind this happened to this poor Shanghai ladies is because it's not, is the people who don't have this Chinese medicine knowledge, Western medicine knowledge, they have variety of words and also natural art, and then they believe that doing better than doing it, or the psychology feeling. So all in the end,
do it in excess maybe.
Yeah, these untested true practices all combined together and imposed on these poor mothers and causing them a lot of pain. And then different culture, actually they have various of elements. But the most important their aim for this postpartum ritual is to evaporating the mother's weakened bodies. So some of the obstetric and gynecology physicians can actually believe that this traditional age-old practice shouldn't dismiss entirely, but adopted according to common sense and also logic. So my advice to today's audience, we women have to empower with this education and also knowledge.
True.
And able to justify the righteous. Yes. And adjust accordingly to this current situation. Yeah. And we should not follow blindly and adopt the traditional for modern times. And more importantly, pass on to the next generation with wisdom.
Yeah, sure. That was quite interesting to know that. But sorry, I'm a bit curious about it, and I really want to know. Do we really need not to take bath for 1 month?
For I can imagine even for 1 day.
Yeah, I was so curious about that. Yeah. Actually, at what I say just now, in the past, the condition actually is different from current era. So actually in China, traditionally, they either have no or have few shower facilities. So when they take bath, what they can do, they only can use the picture here, show here the bathtub. So after delivery, during the confinement period, woman actually still passing out, continue passing out the cloaca, and the inner wall of the uterus actually is still open, and there's also wound. So with this unclean water in the bathtub, it will go into the uterus to this vagina. And even worse, they will go into the pelvic cavity and cause serious infection. So actually during that era, they're proposing this point of view that the woman not taking the bath actually is actually justified. But we women discourage.
Not for this era.
Because they got in this era, we only have shower facilities, about 50 liter, hair dryer. Actually, they shouldn't practice anymore in this modern time.
Yeah,
That's a bit relieving, right?
Yeah, I bet if women are still practicing no bath for 1 month, I'm sure the husband also run away, right?
Yeah. I think the baby also will be suffocated.
Okay, thanks Prof. Lam. That was a very interesting point and about the wind and also the bath thing. Anyway, can you further elaborate more regarding the TCM among the Chinese here in Malaysia?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Before I further continue, let's enjoy a video first. So before I go further, I want to emphasize again, like just now Tati mentioned, mother is a key person in the family. Only when the mother is healthy and happy, only will have a happy and healthy families. So it's very important for the woman to take care of the health. In the traditional Chinese method, actually we have 3 periods, which is very crucial for the woman. For them actually to improve their health and also improve their physical fitness. This is menarche period, during the pregnancy, and also postpartum period, and also menopause. So as we can see, postpartum period actually is very crucial for the woman. That's why I think we have this topic today for this discussion. Okay, so before I further ado, I would like to recommend a few books, this classical literature for traditional medicine that related to the obstetric and gynecology. The first one actually is called the Huangdi Neijing. It's the Yellow Emperor's Classic of the Internal Medicines. It's from numerous unknown authors, and it's from the Warring States to the Han Dynasty. And many references to obstetric and gynecology and also the treatment, their theory is still using until this current modern era, and it's the first fundamental of the Fuke. Fuke in Chinese means obstetric and gynecology. And the second book, actually is this one, is the Essential Prescription of the Golden Cabinet, which is called Jin Hui Yao Yue. It's by Dr. Zhang Zhongjing. In here, so sorry. Generally, they have 3 chapters actually on pulse, pattern, and also treatment of disease in pregnancy and postpartum disease, as well as the miscellaneous gynecology disease. And the third book actually is the book of pregnancy, labor, and postpartum. They document detail regarding gestation, labor, and postpartum care in the Han Dynasty. And the fourth one actually is this one. It's the prescription worth 1,000 in gold for every emergency. In Chinese, we call it 备急千金药方. It actually pointed out that infertility caused by both women and also both men and also women. They actually mentioned here that it's not woman itself that actually is the reason of infertility. And as well, they also wrote extensively on antepartum, intrapartum, and also postpartum care. And lastly, this is the traditional Chinese medicine science of obstetric and gynecology. Actually, is using in this present day. Got 2 editions. First edition is in 2001, and the second one is 2011. It's the most comprehensive text and the next most widely used traditional Chinese medicine and the integrative book. So in this Huangdi Neijing, they actually mention about the law yin and yang. So law of yin and yang actually is the natural order of the universe, foundation of all things, mother of all changes, and also the root of life and death.
What is yin and
in layman term, yin actually is cold, yang actually is heat. Means cold and heat. Yes, cold and heat. So in healing, we have to actually grasp the root of the disharmony, and also subject to the law of yin and yang. So this is actually from the Huangdi Neijing, chapter 5, Su Wen. So, yeah. And the other thing that in traditional Chinese medicine, we believe about 5 elements. So each of these 5 lung organs, they has this aversion, means they are like and dislike. So here I will tell you about the dislikes. Like heart, they dislike heat. Lungs, they dislike dryness. Liver dislike wind. Spleen dislike dampness. And kidney dislike dryness. Yes. And then in traditional Chinese medicine, they also believe about the exogenous factor. Actually, we have 6 exogenous factors. They also as known as 6 external evils. They can actually combination, or they can come into alone. So in normal condition, actually with human, body can actually adapt to the climatic variation. But only when our body is weak, or the climatic change is very severe or surpass our body adaptability, then these external evils can penetrate our bodies and cause imbalance. So the most important one is like wind, heat, cold, and damp. So here I will tell you about the wind and also the cold. So for the wind, they have 2 types, the external wind and also internal wind. So this wind, like just now we can see from the drama, we keep mentioning about the wind, they actually can attack the body when it's vulnerable. So especially during our menstruation, pregnancy, and also postpartum period. And they can cause multiple problems. So I mentioned here, I emphasize is the postpartum fever, seizure, and also body ache. And we actually believe in the TCM that wind is the leading one among all these 6 endogenous factors. And then all diseases are caused by wind. Yes. So the other one is the cold. For cold, actually we can't see really is the pathogen, because naturally it's a main energy from the winter seasons. They only become the cold pathogen when our body can't handle it. So like, for example, if we go to swimming, our body is strong, we have strong Wei Yang, we can't fall sick. Yes. So what actually can cause this Han Qi, means the cold energy, is by exposure to the rain, exposure to the snow, perspirations with exposure to drought and submerged in water. So submerged in water, what I meant is for a long period. Okay, so they will cause formation of Han Qi, means the cold energy. And this excess Han Qi plus the deficiency of the Wei Yang, they will cause blockage to the Yang Qi, means our heat, our fire energy, and this cause our body cannot be warm. And furthermore, it will cause the qi and the blood flow to slow and stop. In the end, it will causing the sickness and also disorders. So for the cold, they actually also have 2 types. They have an exogenous cold and also the endogenous cold. So exogenous cold is coming from outside. And this outside wind, they actually can enter our muscle, skin, the jingluo. What is that? Interesting to yeah, it's something like our nerve and something like our blood vessels. It's a special name for that. So they also will injure the children and also the zigong during the menstruation and also the postpartum period. So they will also lead to menstrual fever, menstrual pain, dysmenorrhea, scanty menstruation. I think everyone will have the, how to say, similar experience that your mom will tell you, menstrual time, don't drink cold drinks.
Yeah.
I think everyone ladies will have this similar advice from your elders, right? Yeah. And then for the postpartum part, they will cause body pain. They actually also can cause the amenorrhea. So for the endogenous cold, actually it's invasion from inside. So how it can happen? This is because our yang qi is deficiency. So mostly it's because of the spleen yang deficiency and also the kidney yang deficiency and also the pigment fire weakening. And this will lead to warming function of the body decrease and also the yin cold increase and spread. In the end, they also will cause a similar problem and like just now I mentioned. Yes. So it actually from the Fontenay-Sing, they actually mentioned about the 7x7 framework of the reproductive physiology for women. And they mentioned that 28 years old is the height of female development and also the peak of reproductive function. In our current Western, they tell it's about 25 years old. So it's almost similar, a bit 3 years difference.
Yeah.
And we actually, like I mentioned just now, all our theory and the treatment, all because we want to bring back the balance between the yin and yang and also the 5 elements. So in this postpartum period, they actually have 4 stages for this 1 month, and they have different purposes and functions. So for the first week, they actually want to promote the blood circulation and also to eliminate the stasis. So where we will drink the Senghua tonic soup to expel the lockdown. And actually I got the Senghua soup at the behind of the school. You actually can have a look. And the second week, we actually want to benefit the qi and also nourishing the blood. So we will drink the soup called Tuzhong Huang Qi and also Tang Hui. And usually Chinese, they will cook the sesame chicken with ginger as well. And then for third week, they want to coordinate the intestine and also the stomachs. So we will drink the Si Junzi decoction and also Ba Zhen soup. And the fourth week actually is very important week because this is the time we want to invigorate the kidney and also strengthen the yang. Because in our belief that in the thought that they mentioned that kidney actually have two elements. Even we have 2 kidney, but one right kidney is the fire, but the left kidney actually is the water.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Okay.
Yeah. And this right kidney is what we call the Mingmen, means we got gate of the life. And they have very strong linkage to the our female reproductive system. Yeah. So here I will want to introduce to you all this Senghua Tang. If anyone on the floor interested with the ingredient and the recipe, later you can come to me. I will share with you. Yeah. But I want to let you know about this function actually to improve the blood circulation, forming the channels to relieve the pain, to treat the retention of these placenta fragments within the uterus, and also to help the metabolism and also expelling this lockdown, helping the uterus to contract.
That was quite informative, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Now that we got to know about the Chinese traditional medicine, can I request you that in Dr. Zakia, what's the current trend of TCM practice during postnatal in Malaysia, Malays?
Okay, thank you Mima for your patience. So, as we mentioned before,
the use of traditional and complementary medicines during postnatal period. One of the studies says that this TCM is widely used in Malaysia, and actually they are already being incorporated in most of our government hospitals, which will be discussed later by our guest panel after this. And this increasing in demand is because of the strong belief that this practice are effective. So, and another study shows that even though in Malaysia we have multi-ethnicity, but actually there are similarity in their postpartum regimens and practice in terms of their belief, their practice, their adherence to food taboos, their traditional postpartum massage, the traditional herbs use, and also acknowledgement of the role of older family members in the society. So again, this study shows that most of the women that being studied in this survey says that they also practice TCM during preconception, pregnancy itself, and also postpartum period. Even though they have aware that there is insufficient evidence about that, so again it shows that there is a need for further study to be conducted in terms of proving the scientific evidence of this TCM. So, as in Malaysia, our 3 prominent ethnicity is Malay, Chinese, and Indian. So now we'll talk about Malay postnatal practice. I think in general, the concept is similar with Prof. The concept is about hot and cold, heat and cold. The concept is around that. But maybe the different words are being used for that. Yeah, I think the different practice, but the main concept is similar. So in Malay, the essential features of their postpartum care practice is including the use of herb, heats, and also massage. So let's look at this video.
Sejak kedai pabrik saya, saya amalkan pantang. Biasanya dalam pantang ni, biasanya saya akan berurut, bertungku, mengalai, bertangas, mandi air herba, selain daripada makan makanan yang untuk orang pantang lah. Biasanya saya akan ambil jamu sebulan selepas
anak saya lahir, baru saya mengandung kali ini, saya ada ambil confinement lady, so dia berserta dengan package. Jadi untuk package ni, saya akan sauna setiap hari, mengurut selang 1 hari, bertungku setiap hari, bertangas 2 kali seminggu, mandi air herbal tu setiap pagi, dan saya akan buat ini semua amalan ni selama 30 hari. Dan macam mengurut, dapat hilangkan rasa-rasa lenguh dan rasa sakit pada setengah bahagian badan, terutamanya pinggang, kaki. Dari segi bertungku, dapat melancarkan perjalanan nifas lah, dan pada masa yang sama dapat rahim tu dapat kecut. So bertangas ni bagi saya dia dapat mempercepatkan saya punya luka saya tu cepat sembuh. Bagi saya lah, saya rasa selepas bersalin, bila kita start amalkan macam mengurut, bertungku, badan kita rasa ringan dan rasa segar.
That's all for the video. So from this video, we can already know what's the practice that being done in Malay communities. The first one, I will discuss about whole body massage. This whole body massage is actually a deep tissue and therapeutic massage that being performed usually by a Malay midwife who is very experienced. Their fundamental is to accelerate body flow, which is believed that after giving birth, the blood flow in the woman's body slow down, and this will cause her to experience pain and also numbness. And the most important part of the body is the nerve and also the muscle of the thigh, the hip and the back, where we always feel pain over that areas, right, after giving birth, because of the pushing, because of the contraction pain. So usually the mother could opt for various number of massage sessions. However, usually in Malay community, the minimum session recommended is 3 times. 3 times throughout the. You can have more. Yeah, you can have more. Some may have daily basis, but the minimum is 3 sessions.
Is it costly?
Some, but okay. In urban area it might be costly, but in rural area I think it should be cheaper. In fact, some of the village midwives don't take any token of appreciations. Or if you wanna give them something, they just say whatever you want to do. They never set that amount. For the herbal bath, it's actually a bath that using hot or warm water, but preferably hot water, and the water is being mixed with various type of herbs such as our lemongrass, our ginger, our this daun meringan. I don't know what is in English, but the scientific name is Desmodium gengiticum. These herbs are being added in the water and they boil it to make it hot, and then the woman will use it during bath. And during that time, the simple massage also being done towards the woman's body, so that it's become softened and the strained muscle become released. About the ingredients is all from our tradition. Yeah, it's actually all of the herbs that we use in Malay tradition is all in our kitchens, and we can even grow them in our house compound, around our house compound. Next, for the pot compressions are also known as tungku. This tungku is actually a form of point massage that using a heated object. Just now when you see the drama just now, the one that being wrapped in a white clothes, tungku actually. Right? Yeah, it's a stone. You can either use stone, usually they use river stone, or you can even use a metal object. Yeah. But the tips that being given by the village midwife is that when you hit the stone, you need to hit at the edge rather than hit it from the bottom. Because when you hit it from the edge, the heat will persist for longer time. Yeah. If you hit it from the bottom itself, it maybe persist for only 15 minutes. While when you hit from the edge, it can persist up to 1 hour.
Then you need to cover it in something else.
Yeah, actually they also, some of Malay being practice is that they put herbs. Before they cover with the clothes, they put some herbs.
Even on the stone?
Yeah, covering the stone itself, and then they put
I tried before, and I see them wrap with some leaf
or things like that, and she told me the same thing that we only heat up on that age. Yeah. So this tungku actually is claimed to be able to reduce pain, muscle spasms, and also congestion of non-inflammatory origins, as well as improve bowel movement to promote flatus and defecations. Next is the berdiam. Have you heard about berdiam?
Berdiam.
No, is it? Berdiam. The concept is actually similar to the tungku, where you heat a stone that being wrapped with a variety of herbs, but this heated stone you put it closer to the woman, approximately about 2 inches from the body, so that the smell of the herbs can help improving.
That's just for the aroma of the herbs to go inside.
Not only the aroma will go inside, but it will help to remove the toxic substance from the woman's body through her sweats. You know, that's why you need to put it. That's why you need to put it near to the woman itself. Then there's another things being practiced, which is tangas, or also known as vagina steaming. In this practice, they use steam that derive from herbal mixture. Again, they use herbs, similar herbs, given with the woman sitting on the wooden chair that has opening in the middle of the perineum area, so that the steam can go directly towards the vagina area or the wounds, usually after the episiotomy wounds. This practice is as you can guess, it's intended to lift up the uterus while shrinking it back to its normal positions. So it can, as the postnatal lady just now mentioned, actually helps them feel lighter. Their body feel lighter after using it. Okay. Bengkong. I'm sure everybody know what is bengkong, right? Even the baby, we put the baby on bengkong itself for the baby. So for women, that is a smaller size bengkong for babies to prevent milk to enter the body of the baby. You know? This body wrapping is made of clothes which is tightly wrapped around the woman's waist, and it claims to provide a lower abdominal support and also realign the spine of the woman after giving birth. So sometimes they also use a traditional oil they apply on the tummy itself before put on the bengkong.
Even after the cesarean section?
Usually after the cesarean section, we don't advise women to immediately wear it. Corset, this one here is the corset. This corset is the modern style of bengkong, because it's much more easier.
I'm sure all women are using these days.
The concept and function is similar.
In the drama one is the traditional one.
That's not the traditional one. The traditional one, you can see that a longer cloth, white cloth that you need to wrap around.
So these are all the modernizations of the bengkong, right?
This one is actually the traditional ones. Yes. Okay. I think that's all for this time. Maybe we can continue to.
Actually, I want to ask you, Tati. We are not in the era of the modern medicine, but how do you think these women still opt to use the TCM instead of the modern medicine?
Saya daripada opah saya pun bidan, mak saya pun bidan. Jadi saya adik-beradik 5 orang, tapi saya pula yang dibagi untuk ni. Rebus, kita minum sikit-sikit. Macam ni, asam keping, lepas tu kismis, lepas tu halia, kunyit, kurma merah. 8 herba ni, dia punya khasiatnya, orang yang guna minum tahu apa kelebihannya. Kalau orang beranak untuk 100 hari elok minum tu. Kita perempuan pantas kena jaga daripada ujung rambut sampai ujung kaki. Nak ikutkan cara tradisional ni, bahan-bahan untuk pergunaan perawatan ni murah je, tak ada mahal. Tapi kalau tahu cara gunanya, benda-benda tu boleh tanam keliling rumah pun boleh. Memanglah patutnya kita teruskanlah cara tradisional ni. Sebabnya kebaikannya orang yang minum, amalkan, tahu khasiat dia macam mana. Kalau kita tak guna, tak amalkan, tak tahu. Bila kita amalkan benda ni rutin harian, insyaAllah badan sihat. Bukannya setakat wanita je, lelaki pun.
So as being mentioned by, this is the one of the famous village midwife that in Selangor, you know. So as mentioned by her just now, why are women opt to choose traditional and complementary medicines during their postnatal period? I think because most of the ingredients that being mentioned by the midwife is actually our kitchen's ingredients, you know. All the halia, kunyit, the kismis, all the things are very easily accessible. They are also affordable, acceptable, and available. Okay, when we talk about healthy foods, seriously, we all know that healthy food is very expensive. But when we talk about traditional and complementary herbs and practice, actually they are affordable, where we can grow them by ourselves. And not only the rich can have it, the poor also can have them.
Oh, actually, Tati, you remind me regarding what my mother taught me that during my childhood. Do you know what is this?
It's like a playground.
Playground, right? Actually, I want to tell you all something, and actually it will make you all surprised. You know, in this playground, actually during my childhood time, I usually play here, and my mother taught me that actually in this playground, they have a herb, which is on this picture. What is that?
Oh,
herb?
they're just doing
Yeah, it's just grown like that. No, it's not grown. It's just
there, like a weed, right?
Yes. So this herbs is called the pengtawa in Chinese. In Malay, it's called the pegagar, daun pegagar. Yeah. So actually, the functions is a bit out of topic, but I just want to share with you all. So for anti-cancer, effectively improving the microcirculation, improve memory. When you eat, you can reduce the bleeding and also improve the eyesight. Usually what I do when we go play, then we will go and take the steam paste, and then we go and make the herbal, we just to make the soup to cool down our body.
It's actually, this traditional herb is actually very,
It's everywhere. It's just around us.
It's
Even
just
the
that we
playground.
don't know it,
Just
right?
where we don't know it only.
I don't know that we have so many precious herbs that just mentioned by you. Just around us. I don't know.
Of course we have it, but the only thing is if we know they are there, they would be around us everywhere, but we don't know. So I remember one Malay saying, "Tak kenal maka tak cinta." So we're just learning.
Yes. It means that you will never fall in love with something until you really get to know about it. So just like that, this Malay lady told us about the herb. Only those who try it will
know what they are actually. Because if you don't use it, if you don't know it, you won't know what they are. They will be just around you, you know.
Yeah, I think that's much that we need to do some more for our public health side for all this to explore more so that more public actually can benefit from it.
Okay, now so we have talked about the Malay practice and also the Chinese practice. So now let's move to the Indian practice. Okay, I think that the basic practice among the Indians
It's same, right?
It's actually the same. It's just that the difference in their culture. So what we have here is a lady. This woman is called Lady. Yeah, she's actually an expert in the Indian postpartum care. So what she did is that she actually prepared a herbal bath and also sauna to the mother. And then she also did the berry binding like the bengkong, like in Malay for bengkong. And she also prepared dishes made of herbs and also spices to boost immunity, decrease plasma, and encourage fetal healing.
Yeah, right. I think this Indian postnatal care is also based on the Ayurvedic
Yes,
medicine.
yes,
So it's basically the same binding, same herbal, but different ways, right? Postnatal massages. So I think it's almost the same. And even I've heard there is this yoga being used in after confinement. I'm not sure, but what do you have to say about that, Dropdown? Because I heard you are fond of doing yoga every day.
Yeah, it's my daily practice. But today I just want to recommend to you all regarding the postnatal yoga. Actually, it's a style of yoga that address the physical, mental, and also emotional challenges of this being a new mother. And they actually to help the mother to tone their body, to regain their vigor, and also to relieve the stress, and also to bond with the newborn by the meditations, pranayama, and also the asana practice. So the benefit actually to strengthen and also tighten the abdominal and hip muscles, restore the nourish the internal organs,
relieve the back pain, calm the nervous system, and also to boost the immune system. So like just now, the mindfulness practice, actually I show you all just now, you can practice at home, actually to help you all to calm and your emotions and also your feeling. And as well, I also want to recommend some gentle postpartum yoga for the new mom. But bear in mind, don't overdo yourself and find a good tutor to guide you.
Don't end up into some disaster.
Yeah, sure. Of course. And the other thing that I want to mention here, actually from a few studies actually mentioned that the yoga actually is helping, especially in the postpartum depressions. So as you know, there's a few papers mentioned that postnatal depression has a lifelong impact to the mother and child relations. And this will actually affect and influence the emotional, cognitive, and also the physical development of these children. And this surprisingly, in this study, actually they mentioned that the mother who have this postpartum depression, have this poor relation with the child, they will further get continuous towards the grandmother when raising their grandchild from this child. So have this negative cycle associated
goes on
from
generation to generation.
Yes. So actually from one of the studies mentioned the impact of postpartum depression on this mother and child relationship. There's a few all the studies that actually mentioned regarding this important point. So actually it's very important that we have to take care of the mother physical and also the mental health during this postpartum period.
Mention about that, Prof. Tam, actually it's not only yoga. I found that several other practice of traditional medicine such as homeopathy and also acupuncture, they are very effective in overcome postpartum depressions, where several countries have done a study and it's proven things. And not to forget that one aspect of traditional and complementary medicine is chiropractic, where they also practice it during postnatal period to manage postpartum pubic symphysis, where from this study they found out that patient's pain improved immediately following treatment of the initial visits, and along the time of the treatment itself, the pain becomes zero.
Oh, so it's proven.
Yeah.
Hearing about that acupuncture, I wanted to actually ask you, what is this? I mean, what is it about acupuncture? At least we know moxibustion, that people say it's good for doing so. I actually wanted to know, is it really helpful in postnatal period?
Yes, actually we Chinese practice the acupuncture and also the moxibustion for the mother warming actually, and this given to the mother during the 4 or 5 days to actually to replenish the qi and also the blood that is lost with the pregnancy and also the childbirth. So actually they believe that this depletion of this body resources of qi and blood is the root cause of this low milk supply, and also postpartum depression and collapse and also fatigue and insomnia. So I know everyone more or less know about the acupuncture, so I will share only the moxibustion today here. So this is the benefits. Actually for the moxibustion, we do it with the name called master roasting. So I would like to share a video with you all to know further.
How can we best use the magic of moxa? How does moxibustion miraculously function to treat diseases? Moxibustion, a green therapy with no side effects. The important point of the medical practices of ancient China. One of the quintessential ancient Chinese medical textbooks advised, if medicines and acupuncture cannot cure a disease in a patient, moxibustion must be used. Moxibustion is said to cure many of the problems that cannot be fixed by medicines and acupuncture. The textbook also suggested that moxibustion was the best way to save lives by extending a person's life and can also cleanse the kidneys. This is moxa. Moxa leaves are very common throughout the countryside in China and are used in many different purposes. Besides being used for moxibustion, Chinese people use them to prepare soups, bathe, fumigate their houses, and repel mosquitoes and flies. The lower part of the Chinese character I, literally Maxa, means restoring something to its original appearance. Moxibustion was a major part of the medical practices of ancient China. It's noted for having no side effects and is known as a green therapy. Moxa heat is produced by the moxibustion materials, which are derived from moxa leaves, also known as dried mugwort. Moxibustion therapy prevents and treats disease by stimulating acupuncture points and special areas of the body, revitalizing the Jing and Qi flows and adjusting any disruptive physiological and biochemical functions. It was only after a long period of experiments and investigations that moxibustion became a regular therapeutic treatment and became widely used. It means a popular form of treatment. The fire of moxibustion is believed to be the fire of the pure yang. Ancient Chinese people referred to the sun as the son of heaven, and they describe moxibustion as the son of the earth. Yang energy is the fundamental energy of life, process where the yang energy is consumed. The heat of the moxibustion process is different from the heat that other materials generate. As the moxa burns, it produces a special type of shortened infrared radiation. This can penetrate 3 to 4 times the depth of normal infrared radiation, and thus can effectively activate the protein complex activin to promote cell growth and to enhance the immune system. Moxibustion can also automatically locate problematic areas of the body and refresh the meridians, or life energy channels. The fire of moxibustion burns and delivers the heat of the pure yang to the inside of the body through the skin. Given that the meridians, acupuncture points, and abdominal organs are all linked, the heat of the yang can successfully reach the malfunctioning parts and remove any obstructions. It can automatically adjust the level of yin and yang to strengthen one's yang, maintaining health and treating diseases. Traditional Chinese medicine research institutes have studied many other medicines, materials, and substances, but they concluded there was no replacement when they compared these with mox. How does moxibustion miraculously function to treat diseases? Traditional Chinese medicine practitioners say that every person has a meridian network. It's just like an electrical current flowing through connecting wires of an electric generator. The 12 meridians and 365 acupuncture points of the human body are like the post offices and mailboxes for the organs to deliver messages to one another. When they are healthy, these organs are well connected with the acupuncture points on the skin through the meridian network. To discharge the negative energy and enable the smooth flow of nutritional energy, yang qi, and protective energy, wei qi. To diminish it if there is too much yang energy, and to supplement it if there is too little. Moxibustion therapy applies these basic principles of traditional Chinese medicine in a pliant way. Moxibustion helps to provide more yang energy for people and releases their negative energy. This is precisely what more and more people need in their lives. People today can learn from the medical wisdom of our ancestors. By using moxibustion, they will be able to greatly reduce the chances of falling ill. They will be able to live better and longer and enjoy life to the fullest and healthiest. It's a therapy that can help everyone in society.
We wanted to know from you, now that we know about Chinese or everything, now we wanted to know, is TCM followed in Malaysia? Is it evidence-based medicine?
That's hard questions to answer. Actually, to answer your questions, it's actually very difficult because there's only a few studies being done towards this effectiveness and safety of the TCM. But I managed to find one systematic review that been done in Malaysia in 2015, where their aim is to evaluate the evidence on the effectiveness, safety, and also the cost effectiveness of traditional postnatal care. For the deep tissue massage, they come with one proposed theoretical model where they explain how this massage therapy lead to prevention of depression and anxiety in pregnant and also postnatal women. Where from the massage itself, it will increase our hormone dopamine and serotonin, and this will further reduce the norepinephrine and cortisol and directly lead to a reduced risk of anxiety and also depressions. So, another several study has been done that shows that actually there are not really good evidence that this postnatal massage is being potential in reducing in their safety and also their effectiveness. In terms of hot compression and body wrapping, Azida et al. In 2006 has found that in participants that use bengkok and tungku, they were significantly less common to have developed postnatal depressions compared to those who did not. So this finding indirectly shows that people who practice traditional medicines are slightly protected from getting postnatal depressions. However, there are still low level of retrievable evidence. And for their safety and cost effective, there was no retrievable evidence on the adverse event and cost effectiveness. So, as a conclusion for today,
may I ask something about what about the herbs? Is it evidence-based medicine? Because you only talk about the massage and the tungku.
Yeah, again, Nora, to answer your questions, it's actually lack of studies being done in that field itself. So I cannot seriously answer your questions because when we conduct a survey, the community itself, from their belief and their practice, because of their belief is that these are effective, but none of the studies has been done officially to show their effectiveness. So, as a conclusions of our study today, as the conclusions of our discussions today, I would like to emphasize that actually there is a limited fair level of retrieval evidence that suggests the effectiveness of traditional medicines in postnatal care. However, again, there is not absolute no to this practice because some of it are being evidenced by the community experience itself. So again, TCM can be practiced as an adjunct therapy, not to be the primary treatment of any health problems. And Kofta, maybe you want to add something as a take-home messages?
Okay, like the take-home messages I mentioned just now, we have to justify accordingly and use it with logistic reason and also common sense. And one more thing, this traditional medicine, complementary medicine is a heritage from the ancestor. Actually, it's a gift from them, and we actually have to explore it more. Should not be dismissed entirely and conducted it well. This reminds me about Tu Youyou, a Nobel Prize winner in physiology and medicine. She actually using this traditional medicine and give the gift to this world by founding the anti-malaria drug called artemisinin. So she actually quoted a word. She said that this traditional and complementary medicine actually is a huge, vast treasure house, and we need actually to explore it more to benefit the public.
It's a treasure hunt. We need to hunt for this treasure ourselves.
Yeah.
True. Very knowledgeable talk. So we got to know so much today, and I think we would try many of these things, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, experts. We are really thankful to you for being here today. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
So now I would like to invite Dr. Darwin, TCM. Dr. Darwin is a doctor from TCM Division of Ministry of Health. He will enlighten us on policies on TCM. I mean, we cannot practice without policies, right? So here I welcome Dr. Darwin.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Thank you, MC. Thank you, Dr. Zaki and Prof. Suwat. Such a very enlightened message that they have shared with us. So we know that women, they are sacrificed a lot, yeah, to go through all these kind of procedures. So I think I agree with Dati. We should say I love you, I think, hourly to them. Okay. So I go through to the policy regarding TCM in Malaysia. So this is our head division, Dr. Go, director of the TCM MOH. So she said that traditional and complementary medicine will become an important component in our healthcare system that to improve the quality of Malaysia in concern with modern medicine. So we have integrated hospital that using TCM facilities. So the number is keep rising currently. So the main TCM integrated hospital in Malaysia is the Hospital Putrajaya. So this practice available in our integrated hospital. First is the acupuncture, okay, the Malay massage, adjunct therapy for the cancer patient, and also for the Malay postnatal care. So only in Malaysia we only have 2 hospitals currently that offer Malay postnatal care in their facility. So WHO recognition in TCM. So to combating global endemic in NCD and promoting health care. So they have their the first strategy from WHO was on 2002 to 2005 that come with a standardization of guidelines. So they revised come with a traditional medicine strategy for 2014 to 2023, looking into the evidence-based approach. So this is the recommendation to the government. As far we know that the first is for the hazardous potential contribution, and also actively promote the safe and effective use TCM through the regulation R&D and integrate TCM into national healthcare system. So as far we know that Malaysian we have a lot of guidelines, and the first guideline was introduced in the 2007, looking in the herbal therapy as an adjunct treatment for cancer, and also the guideline for the Malay postnatal care. So they have revised and come up with a new guideline, and also guideline is still under progress, which is the homeopathy, chiropractic, and also the Islamic medical service. Okay. So we go to the regulation of TCM in Malaysia. National TCM Council and National Policy on TCM focus on 4. We need to know that safe practice of TCM, education and training, R&D on quality, safety and efficacy, and also registration of the TCM product. So we have a bureau that control all these TCM products in the market, which is the NPRA and also the DCA, which do the registration and also the post-marketing surveillance. So the quality control of TCM in Malaysia, as far as we concerned that registration criteria of TCM is limit for heavy metal, microbial contamination, absent adulterant, prohibition of endangered animal species, must also comply to GMP, quality, and efficacy. Okay, next. So this is the study being done in 2014, looking regarding awareness among Malaysia in TCM, and found that 51% of the respondents were unaware of the possible side effect of the TCM, and possibly did not recognize the possibility of counterfeits. Okay, so we jump through for a while to our neighboring country. So this is the current traditional medicine, Indonesia National Health Policy in TCM, to support development and improvement of form of traditional medicine being safe and efficacious in order to fulfill their goal of optimal health. So in Indonesia, they have their own pharmacopoeia and also their own guideline regarding the plan that we use for using the TCM. As far we go to Indonesia, we kind of have a familiar look, all the jamu and also all the traditional medicine that have been used widely in Indonesia. And we jump to our neighboring region, the Kingdom of Thailand. Okay, Thailand, they have their own specific name on TCM. They didn't call the Thai traditional complementary medicine. They call Thai traditional complementary medicine. So it compares a holistic philosophy and it based on principle of plan, basically, and represent an important resources for the Thai healthcare system. So they have a very well-recorded history in DCM, starting from the 11th century, where 102 hospitals were established, and 30 kind of the hospital using herb as a treatment. So when the 18th century, protocol for diagnosis and treatment were inscribed on the wall of temple. So the National Institute of Thai Traditional Medicine was established on 1993 as a division of the Department of Medical Services, and is a part from the Ministry of Health, Thailand. Okay, so I will share you regarding this. Okay, as we know, this is a Wat. Okay, the name of Wat Pu, located at the Grand Palace. So Wat Pu is the birthplace of the Thai massage. Okay, I think every guy in here know what's Thai massage without the in a manner way. Okay, without the happy ending way. Okay, so in 1997, the Ministry of Health of Thailand, okay, established the Thai Traditional Medicine Training Center, and also in Thailand they have also the Journal of Thai Traditional and Alternative Medicine, which is we don't have currently. Okay, so we go to the weird and interesting part that being practiced, other counterpart of the world being practiced DCM. So, do you familiar with this picture? No, okay. This is albino buffalo. Sorry for the spelling, not buffalo. This is they celebrate this occasion in Islamic calendar on 1 Muharram, where in Central Java, where they bring this holy buffalo around the city, and whenever the buffalo, I witnessed this ceremony, whenever the buffalo poo or pee, they straight away come and just put at their face, and they believe that this is a supernatural healing power for them, okay, and also for prosper. Okay, this is another weird thing happened in Limpopo province, South Africa. So where the priests spray their followers' face, I mean all the body, with a mosquito repellent spray.
Why?
Why? Because they think this spray can remove the evil and also their sickness towards them. Okay. Okay, this one we are really aware regarding the practice in Andhra Pradesh for the asthma sufferers around the world. They prepare herbs and also take along with a live small fish. So we don't know how was the evidence of this practice DCM. So we need to, to do some study regarding this method. Okay. So Malaysian have a diversity of DCM. So how to standardize regulation of DCM in Malaysia? So regulation and enforcement of DCM in Malaysia for the MPRA. So we have our Ordinance 1952, Poison Act 1952, Ordinance 56 regarding advertisement and sale, and also Control of Drug and Cosmetic Regulation 1984. For the DCA, for the GMP guideline, also the storage practice. So in 2017, our Deputy Director General Dr. Jayendran mentioned that all TCM drugs must be registered under MPRA compulsory, because our TCM being exploited and manipulated by those who really unethical in our country. Okay. So the weakness of mechanism of regulation, TCM product was mandated to register under DC only in 1992. So the post-marketing surveillance for pharmaceutical was introduced in 1987 for TCM, only on 1997. So TCM national policy was on 2013 at the Act of 775. And also till today we have no national pharmacopoeia compared to our neighboring region. And the TCM manufacturer does need to prove efficacy of a product before it being sold. And also we have seen a lot of animal and plant exploited for TCM use that can cause environment disaster. Okay. So we go to the lack of regulatory legal mechanism, the cross-sector nature of TCM. The MOH recently tabled a TCM bill 2013. So we know that those who are practicing TCM, there is no insurance being covered, and also regarding the intellectual property. So the second was is lack of official recognition of TCM, registration of the provider itself. Okay, so this section is looking into the safety, efficacy, and also equality. So we looked at basically there is no inadequate evidence for TCM, whether therapy or product currently. So lack of international and national standard for ensuring safety, efficacy, and quality control. Lack of adequate regulation of herbal medicine, and also inadequate support of research. There's no clinical trial being done before. So for the rational use, lack of training for TCM provider, lack of communication between TCM and consumer, lack of information for the public and rational use of TCM, need to identify safe and effective TCM practice. I think quite boring because whenever comes policy, this kind of presentation need to be, because it's really important when policy, there's no policy, we will practice widely in our setting. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Darwin, for the talk on policy. Now I would like to invite a very important person. He's a very busy man, but he is able to make time for us today. He's a Dr. Sam. He's World Health Organization Regional Officer. He's currently in town today. He will talk about hype or hope of TCM. Welcome, Dr. Darwin.
Right. Okay, you press up. Okay. Right. Then we come back to this very same question that we asked in the very first slide. Does the use of TCM among women during confinement period, is it warranted or not? Is it a hype or a hope? In other words, is it useful or is it useless? So now I'm going to throw this question back to you guys. Does anyone in this hall think that TCM practice is not warranted, it's useless? Anyone in this hall? Okay? If you guys have studied so many years in med school for MBBS or MD, and then you have practiced so long for Western medicine, and suddenly we are here to tell you, hey, look, actually, you can use TCM. Do you feel humiliated? Do you feel that why not I just go and study TCM? Correct or not? So, before we tell you our stand, let's go through what WHO has to say on TCM. Sorry to put this very busy slide and highlight all these points for you, not because it's an exam question, but just to show you some insight. So this is what WHO DG, Dr. Margaret Chan, the ex-DG said in one of the conferences in 2013. She actually stated that TCM, the goal for TCM is to ensure that all people have access to care. And it is the source, the primary source of healthcare, and sometimes is the only source of healthcare in some countries, especially the LMIC, the low and middle income countries. Why is it so? It's because it is very close to home. It is very easily accessible, and it is affordable and culturally acceptable. So that's the stand of WHO. So what's our stand? Our stand is in accordance to WHO vision. So at the end, we have to come to a resolution, correct or not? So our stand is this. As public health officers, we suggest, in fact, we encourage the use of TCM in two conditions. First, the practice of TCM does not and will not cause any form of harm to the woman under confinement. Okay? Whether it is physically harm, emotionally harm, or spiritually. Alright? And do you remember what we actually swear during the last year of medical school? Do you remember this guy here, this gentleman here, Hippocrates? In his oath, he said, first, do no harm. So the same principle applies here. Do no harm in TCM. And second, the second point is, TCM must be practiced under the strict regulation of Malaysia law. So the TCM practice should not go against the law or any penal code in Malaysia. Next, please. Right. So we are saying this, we are encouraging the women under confinement to practice TCM not without any justification. In fact, first, foremost, the very important point here is because we want to empower the community, the culture, and the women themselves. I do not know whether you remember this during one of the earlier lectures delivered by Dr. Mastino. Actually, I totally forgot about the lecture, but there's one word she said, no one word. There's one sentence she actually said that stuck in my mind forever. She actually said, if something has to do with religion, regardless of what kind of religion, I remember she stood here, right here. She said, I don't know, she pointed to which guy. He said, whether it's Indian, whether it's Hinduism, Muslim, or Christianity, Buddhism, anything, any religion, if it has got something to do with religion, we, as a human being, shall never ever intervene. We shall never ever question or comment anything. Correct or not?
Yes.
Hey, must be correct lah. Okay, so similarly in here, we talk about TCM, about culture, including TCM. It is something to do with culture. It has something to do with religion in Indonesia, for instance. So we should never ever go and stop the women from practicing it. In fact, we should empower them. We should tell them that, hey, look, you should be proud of your own culture, regardless of what race you are. You go and practice it. You must be proud of it. Okay, that's the first point, that's very important. Second is because we want, TCM is a growing economic importance. It's money, and now we are very poor for some reason. That's why we have to encourage them. Next, please. And also, there are advances in TCM research and development. Alright, in the past, I mean, especially in China, in Korea, and also India. And the fourth point is very important. Let me show you this. Next. Okay. We here in Malaysia, we as Malaysians, actually we are very lucky. We can have a very luxurious life, especially if you live in Kuala Lumpur. Why? Because if you are very rich, you have 2.6 million in your hand, in your account, you can go for this one. You can go to a private practice, a private medical center. Or, for example, Prince Court, which is a 6-star hospital. Some people call it hospital because it's a hospital plus hotel. So it's hospital. I've been there last semester for a visit. The VIP suite is really like a VIP hotel, okay? So if you have 2.6 billion or even more, you can go for it. And some more, you can choose what kind of health insurance you want to buy. And some more, if you want to just go for a GP clinic, you don't want to come to me because Sam is very ugly. Handsome langsung. You want to go to Amir because Amir is big, muscular, and good looking. So you can choose, you have the luxurious to make choices. But how about this poor group of poor African ladies in their continents? They don't have much choices. There are scarcity of resources. Go back to the previous slide, please. Alright, so in fact, I'm not exaggerating because in Africa itself, the ratio of medical doctors to the patients or to the population is 1 to 40,000. Such a huge gap, such a huge discrepancy. But compared to Malaysia, we have how much? 1 to 600. And we want to go down further to 1 to 400. And with the mushrooming of medical school, I don't think it's impossible. But there's a big but here. In Africa, the ratio of traditional healer or TCM practitioner to the population ratio is 1 to 500, which is more easy, accessible, and closer to them. And we all learn in health economics that the demand and supply curve, right? When there are less supply, the price will go down. So how can these poor from the lower economic status women can actually go for this? They cannot go for Western medicine. They have to go to TCM for no choice. That's why Dr. Margaret said it is one of the primary or one of the most important healthcare in this region. Okay, next please. And next. Right, so these are the few other reasons which are quite trivial. That's why we have to encourage TCM among women. We want to increase the demand for more information, leading to increased awareness, increased satisfaction with existing healthcare services, and TCM recognizes the need to focus on QOL when a cure is not possible. So these are the not so important reasons. The first four reasons are the most important ones. Next. Alright, so during our discussion, we tried to come up with a framework to explain how do we encourage the safe use of TCM for women during their confinement period. Of course, we have tried some other models, like for example, SEM, social community model. We tried the PPA models, but they don't fit very well. And we found that this is the model called Health Relief Model, or HBM in short, that fits perfectly into how to encourage the use of TCM. And it's actually a very old model, developed a few years ago. And it actually made up of 6 constructs or components, if you like. So the first one, very quickly, is called perceived barriers. Okay, so for instance, in our case today, if a woman under confinement think that she can hardly, there's a lot of barriers for her to practice TCM during confinement, most probably she will not go for it. Okay, and in this paper, the authors are actually, it's a Singapore paper. They identified that there are 4 main barriers that prevent people from practicing TCM. In fact, the first one is the lack of patient-centric care. Just now in the very first drama, or montage we call it, can you notice that actually the traditional healer, there's not much of communication between her and the patient? Not much. So actually, because of this, can you really trust them? You don't know. Whatever she do, or do some jumping, you also don't know. So, as such, we encourage TCM practitioners to communicate and inform findings and treatment plan to the new mothers or to the patients. Okay, that's very important. Next. And there are lack of confidence and trust in TCM practitioner. Some people say this is very good. Some people say that this one not good, can trust or not. Why is it so? It's because these TCM practitioners, they are trained differently from different people. They have different top gurus. Okay? So some are very good, some are not so good, some are just so-so. So we recommend the government to actually mandate these TCM practitioners through their policies to undergo formal qualifications, for example, a degree or diploma, and so that they can be registered and recognized, and so that they need to comply to the continuous professional development, or CND, or whatever it is. And this can be done through the TCM division MOH. And there's absence of collaboration between TCM and Western medicine practitioners. And so we encourage the government to mandate that the TCM department or unit, or at least a qualified TCM practitioner, should be stationed at each and every KK or hospital, at least, so that when the new mother comes to the clinic or hospital, they can listen to from both sides and decide by herself. And the lack of knowledge in society, that's the last barrier. So if we can overcome all these barriers, actually, eventually the mother will go for TCM. Yes. The next one is called perceived benefits, the second construct under the HBM model, which means that in our case today, if a mother thinks that TCM is beneficial to her, most likely she will go and practice it. Okay? And unfortunately, like what our colleagues previously mentioned, little is known regarding the benefit of TCM practice during confinement in Malaysia. And unfortunately, most of these procedures are from China. We do not do it ourselves. So in the scarcity of evidence, research and reviews of these procedures need to be done. Right, next. And who are going to do all this research on TCM? We cannot go and ask the top team to conduct research or not. We cannot ask them to design a methodology, to calculate sample size, to calculate the OR and RR. We cannot ask them to do so because they are not educated. So we, as public health specialists or officers, we are trained. We have undergone all the RM. We have undergone all the torture in biostats. So we know how to calculate OR and RR. And so we are the ones who are responsible to do it.
Yeah.
In fact, Okay. So the evidence of the benefits can be gathered not only through quantitative study, but also qualitative study, especially ethnographic study. Do anyone of you know what an ethnographic study means? That a researcher goes into a village, for example, he wants to study about Orang Asli village. So he goes into the community, stay there for a period of time, go and observe them, talk to them, and then do research. That's called ethnographic study. And I actually know one guy, a Masale from England, he's a British. He went to Orang Asli Kampung in Perak to study the perception of orang asli women regarding HIV. So he stayed there for 6 months, and at the end of 6 months, he fell in love with one of the orang asli girl. And they get married at the same village. So if you are single and available like me, I think you can go to this village and do research during our DRPH or PhD. And at the end, not only you will get your result, also you get a wife. So it's like kill two birds with one stone, right?
Yeah.
How good it is. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so it is important to understand the benefit and perception of experience of the community on the use of PCN during confinement. And such finding must be communicated. It's not useless if you do it and you just keep quiet. You need to communicate through scientific discussion, conference lah, meetings lah, or maybe presentation like this. And most importantly, you must communicate to the public. What are your findings? All the benefits that you found in your research must be told to them. Otherwise, it will be useless. Next. And the third construct is called cues to action, means that the surrounding people or things that actually can influence a person. In our case today, is the women under confinement, to change their behavior. For example, by their family members, media, or personal advice. Okay, why we say here the best person to do this is the parents of the woman, is the father or the husband, the parents-in-law, to encourage the woman to use TCM during confinement based on their own experience. Why is it so important? It's because it is the nucleus of the family. We always talk about that. These are the persons who are closest to the mother. And they spend a lot of time with the mother. So the mother most probably will listen to these people rather than us. And of course, we as public health officers can also encourage them to use TTM to help in programs, some courses, talks, seminars in everywhere. Please. And this is self-efficacy. So if a woman thinks that she is confident enough to practice something, to practice TCM for instance, she will most probably go for it. Because some TCM practices, as we saw just now, such as yoga and Tai Chi, need some skills and long-term practices. You need time to practice it. So the mother needs to learn, needs some time to learn them. So demonstrations from TCM professionals or coaches should be recorded in the DVD or in some live video, so that this video can be shown to the mother and they can learn from the video to do it at home to increase their efficacy. So that's what we call self-efficacy. Next. And I can see some of you guys now is doing yoga already like, okay, never mind. This influence is yours. So the last two constructs are perceived seriousness and perceived possibility. I combine them too. Okay, so if a mother during confinement, she thinks that she is susceptible to a disease, most probably she will go and practice TCM. Why am I saying so? New mothers should be informed of the possibility and susceptibility of them developing postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety. And how common is it in Malaysia? 6.8 to 14.3% of mothers actually experience postpartum depression during the first 6 months of their period. It's from Malaysia. And globally, worse still, globally, the prevalence of postpartum anxiety is 13 to 40%. How common is this? For example, in this class, we have 30 people. So I think with this number, maybe 12 of us, all of us are ladies. 12 of us actually have postpartum anxiety. It's very common. And not only it is common, it's also very serious. Look at this. It's an article that I got from last year, 2017. A 32-year-old mother in Kelantan slashed her 2-month-old daughters to death. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? I cannot imagine. She spent 9 months with the daughter, with the baby in a womb for 9 months. She must love the baby very much. There's a bonding building between two of them. But when she gave birth to the baby, she developed depression. And she eventually killed her loving daughter. How sad is it? Such a tragedy. So it's very serious. And not only serious, it's also, we are also susceptible. Okay? Even celebrity mothers like this, okay, do you know who is this? It's Yasmin Hani, one of the local actress and models. And this at the bottom here is Chrissy Teigen. And it's okay that you don't know her, but she's actually the wife of John Legend. So if you don't know who is John Legend, I also don't know her. Means you never listen to radio. And you should do more as a public health officer. So these two ladies, they are so educated. They are from well family. I'm sure the husband is doing very well, making a lot of money. But does it prevent them from having be the victim of postpartum depression. No. So actually all of us are susceptible. As long as you are a lady and you have just gave a baby, you're susceptible to it. So therefore, new mothers must be offered advice to prevent these illnesses by their doctors or nurses as early. The keyword here is as early as during the prenatal counseling. There's no use if you tell them at the end after giving birth. It's too late already. So tell them earlier. And we must also, as healthcare workers, offer these mothers an alternative to opt for TCM treatment. For example, acupuncture and acupuncture during that follow-up. Because through systematic reviews, we know that the pyramid of evidence, right, the highest systematic review and meta-analysis, right, then RCT and observation studies. Through systematic reviews, many of them have proven that acupuncture and traditional herbs are proven to be useful to prevent these postpartum disorders. So we must allow them to know this. We must empower them to provide their knowledge instead of not doing anything. So these are a few challenges in TCM in general. So first, of course, like what he said, actually we have a lack of regulation on TCM, not even Malaysia, but also in other countries. And of course, we have lack of financial support for research on TCM. For some reason, because we are very poor, we used to be very rich, okay? So now, do you guys know that if you want to apply for my brain scholarship, that's no longer there, you know, right? So nowadays, there's no brain already, okay? So there's no money to do research, and there's no money for you to fund research. So much so for TCM. And also, there's a lack of education and training among the TCM practitioners, actually. But despite all these challenges, we have some opportunities in TCM, which we can actually use them for disease prevention, health promotion, and health maintenance. And of course, this is very important with the new budget 2019. Integration of TCM within healthcare system may help to achieve UHC, universal health coverage, which is basically to provide healthcare to everyone without any financial burden. Okay? So there's hope there. Right. So now we are going to launch a mobile app called My Confidence. Okay? Why is it called My Confidence? It's because it stands for confinement with evidence. And why are we trying to do all these sort of things to create this? Is because there's a wide internet coverage in Malaysia. In 2012 itself, we in Malaysia already reached 25.3 million, or 81.8% of us actually have internet access. Okay? That's why we don't use radio now, we don't use whatever program. We try to use an app. And nowadays in 2018, I believe more than 90% of us actually has internet access already. Right? So what are the objectives for this app? First, for the short-term objective, we want to provide easy access to the quality TCM consultation and services. Also want to promote a holistic approach to women under confinement. We want to increase their awareness, their knowledge, and their uses on TCM during confinement. To encourage community engagement, last but not least, to support networks and discussion among women under confinement. Because one of the very important determinants of mental health illness is being lonely, being alone at home. Okay? So, if we can encourage discussion and networks between these mothers, even though they are not physically together, but through the apps they can connect each other, have some discussion, have some conversation, with this actually we can prevent them having mental illnesses like postpartum depression and anxiety. Next, and for long-term objectives, say for example 3 to 5 years, or maybe it will be longer, we want to encourage a multidisciplinary collaboration in delivering women's health care during confinement. We want to integrate TCM within the Malaysia healthcare system so as to achieve UHC, like I mentioned just now, to reduce the cost of healthcare in Malaysia. And last, but I think most importantly is this. We want to empower the women, culture, and community. What do we mean by empowerment? I believe Dr. Masino will talk about this in great detail next semester for family health. But just to give you a taste, okay, so it basically means that it's defined as increase the spiritual, political, social, or economic strength of individuals and the communities. Okay, so how? If you say if you say you want to empower somebody, the women or the community, first you must give them power, give them equal access, give them options, more options to choose from, allow them positive thinking, encourage learning, give them more knowledge, encourage them to learn, allow them to grow, be positive self-image, and also morals. So we can do, we can achieve the empowerment through these few components. Next, please. All right. So this comes to the practical part. How are we going to? How this app is going to work? First, like any other apps, if you want to use the app, you have to download it. So you go to App Store or Google Play Store. You see that this is the Google Play Store. The App Store. You can download it for free, as we promised. And you can also download it free for your Android. And it says editor's choice. Not bad. Next. Once you have downloaded the apps, you need to select your role. So you click open the apps. Sorry for this very boring interface because I'm not an IT guy. So if I were to be an IT guy, I would do it better and more attractive. So okay, so it asks you, who are you? Are you women under confinement? You click this one. Are you a new father? You click that one. Are you a parent whose daughter is under confinement? You click that one. Or are you just kepo and do nothing? You are a public officer, just want to learn. You just click others. And this maybe will be use more jargon stuff for the researchers. No. Okay, so why do we want to include new father in our categories here? And do you remember in the previous lecture, there's one lecture on man's role or responsibility during in women's health, correct or not? So I remember in one of the slides there, it says that the role of man is very important during postpartum period. She must know how to take care of the wife as well as the newborn. Okay, and she needs to how to respond in the event of emergency. That's why we include new fathers here. Okay, so it's not that you just your wife gives birth to baby and then you I don't care. It's not like that. Okay, so yeah, and then we promise to have 4 different languages to allow more users. Next. Okay, so once you click on the mothers under confinement, then it will bring you to this page. What would you like to know? Okay, you can click on this advices on confinement, breastfeeding, nutrition, or others. Why do we want to include breastfeeding and nutrition in this app, even though it's an app for confinement? It's because of this. You still remember this? Very important. I think it's potentially an exam question. So, this is called the maternal nutrition cycle. We all know this by now. Why do you want to put nutrition and breastfeeding in this app, even though it's about confinement? Because, if you can remember, if the mother gives birth to a baby, during a confinement, there's an unmet need of nutrition. She's depriving of nutrition. Then, nothing will happen to the baby. But, for the next, when she's conceived again, to have a second baby, if the mother there's an unmet need of nutrition within the mother, it will also affect the next baby and cause the baby to be malnourished and SGA and whatever. Okay, so it's very important to include nutrition, information, and breastfeeding in this app. Next. Then, after you click that, you bring to this page. What do you want to know? What type of treatment you want to know? And then you want to know more about TCM or conventional medicine. Okay, even though this is for confinement, but we want the mother to compare and contrast among these 2 disciplines so that the mother is free to choose what kind of treatment she wants to receive. Okay, so if you click the TCM, it will bring you to this page again. Select the areas under TCM that catch your attention. So you can click this one if you want to know more benefits about TCM in you during confinement. You can click this one, latest news and studies, if you want to know what are the happenings around your area, for example, health talk or women health, on health promotion programs. You can click this, and this page will be updated from time to time. So you are updated with the surroundings actually, even though you are at home for 1 month. And for this one, if after reading all this information, you still have burning questions, your question is still not answered yet. So what you're going to do is you can click this button here with a question mark, okay, and then it will bring you to video call with a TCM consultant online, free of charge. Okay, so you can ask a question there. And if you're still not happy enough, you can actually visit them by entering the phone numbers and addresses. And do you remember what is this thing? Thailand Kasih? Do anyone of you guys know what is this? Thailand Kasih basically is for reporting of domestic violence, right? But the concept is going to be same here. This Thailand is 24 hours. But we put it here, initially, you can call the consultant during office hours. And let's say there are more and more people using this app in the future, we can actually hire another consultant to cover 24 hours. So you can call the consultant anytime you like, day or night. Next. Yeah, so Just like previously, at the bottom there, there's a DIY video, right? Can you show that? There's a DIY video here. DIY videos here, which basically to encourage the woman under confinement to watch some videos and do some physical activities at home. Next. Okay, so there are a few videos here, and we're gonna demonstrate how this works. Can you guys stand up? If you are eating, just put your food aside. And can you guys stand up here? Okay, so imagine yourself is a lady under confinement. Nobody is at home now. Your husband is working. Your mother-in-law, your father-in-law is all away. So now you are alone. So now let's open the DIY video and do some physical activities. Okay. You guys have to do it. Now we're going to invite Dr. Massimo to come down here, come forward, to actually officiate our act called the Mind Confidence